is a special Minisode of Hugo Girl, the podcast where normally we read, that's hard to say, where normally we read Hugo Award-winning novels. And today, we're going to look at this cool cookbook that we got to review. I think we're supposed to disclose that we got free copies of it.
Woohoo.
And it is called Cooking for Wizards, Warriors, and Dragons. 125 unofficial recipes inspired by The Witcher, Game of Thrones, The Broken Earth, and other fantasy favorites. And it is by Thea James, who is a Hugo Award winner, and the recipes are by Isabel Minunni.
Now, just reading the cover, it looks like we might be making dragon food, which is exciting.
Dragon turkey.
From the cover, it looks like dragon food is a knight and his horse.
It does.
So we're looking at this for the first time. It has been sitting on my table, and I haven't opened it, and I've really, really wanted to.
She's very strong.
But it didn't. Oh, it's got a foreword by Kate Elliott. That's pretty cool. We haven't read any of her stuff yet, but I have heard such good things about her books. So we've got breakfasts and second breakfasts, which is brunch, soups and stews, suppers, snacks and sides, desserts, feasts, a bibliography. Okay, I'll stop reading.
This reminds me, I was recently in a little bit of a not argument, but debate over whether people still say supper and what it means.
Oh, people in the South are very dedicated to it, even though I know nobody I know uses it. Like, if I say, let's go get dinner tomorrow night, people say dinner.
I definitely say supper at home in Savannah. And sometimes I say supper and dinner is when you're going out for something nice.
Yeah, I never say it. Yep.
When we feed the dogs, it's called pups up. All right, so I just think that we should pick a few things to make.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by Ursula K. Le Guin's salted fried fish.
All right.
Done.
So we've got to find things that are vegetarian and dairy-free.
No. You guys make whatever you want.
Okay.
If you want to make a roast, make a roast.
Well, that's less fun, though, if you can.
Oh, I'll take
I
a
might
bite.
flip directly to cocktails.
Shh, don't tell anybody. I'll take a little bite. It's for the show. There was one on the Book Smugglers website that was like this big fancy fish dinner from the 5th season. And it seemed elaborate and fun. So I was thinking maybe of doing that one. Potato pancakes. Oh, that's from The Witcher. I do like a potato pancake.
We will not be eating anything from the Dragon Riders of Pern. I'm sorry.
Nope. Well, unless it's their good calf or whatever their coffee is called. Sorceress's handcrafted omelet. Also from The Witcher. I keep picking Witcher things.
One thing I do like is the illustrations are black and white and really pretty.
Yeah, they sure are.
Really cool.
It's a really nice looking book.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent us these nice hardcover books.
Oh, this is why I don't recognize anything. This is mainly fantasy books. I was like, haven't read it.
Oh,
haven't read
yeah.
As you can tell from Wizards, Warriors, and Dragons.
Wizards, Warriors, Dragons, and no spaceships.
I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting the Star Wars cookbook Lori got me for my birthday. I was like, there's no droid recipe.
So that cookbook is called Wookiee Cookies. And my favorite recipe title out of it is the Boba Fettuccine Alfredo.
I'm intrigued by the late night potato hash, butter, and beer, as I love a hash of almost anything.
Ooh, that sounds good. Roasted lark. Is that a bird?
A lark is a bird.
Oh,
Larks are very small. It would be very hard to have 3 pounds of lark
3
breasts.
pounds of lark breasts.
It's like in a bag of Brussels
I
sprouts.
imagine one could use chicken.
Wowee.
Maybe a Cornish hen.
A whole flock of little birds. A rabbit roast. That's fancy. Triumphant boar.
One thing that's cool is the little intro before each recipe, which is, it's unlike every crappy recipe website that has like 67 paragraphs.
Oh,
It's
yes.
a reasonable length.
But like, yeah, so oysters, clams, and cockles linguine. Following her father's execution in a Game of Thrones, subsequent novels in the series see Arya Stark undergo a number of transformation encounters. She becomes an oyster gal.
She sure does.
Oysters.
That's fun. And then we don't have 97 pictures of Arya to scroll through.
And then like a picture of one oyster, a picture of one clam.
Okay, sauteed mushrooms with garlic from the Broken Earth. I can make that.
How are you feeling about mushrooms these days, Laura?
I mean, I'm I'm still getting to know them, but I like them, and especially if you cook them to death in salt and garlic and butter, they're delicious. I mean, anything is delicious.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay with them. It's been a process.
Don't be a salty Stannis, crispy sardines.
Oh, you know Stannis' breath stinks.
You know, he's salty.
Well, whose breath doesn't stink in Westeros?
I bet none of them floss.
Ugh.
Marjorie Tyrrell.
I told you all about my date with the person that said they didn't floss.
Uh-oh.
You know I don't regularly floss.
I know, but okay.
Easy on the judgment.
Well, here's the thing. So we were having like not a fake, but like one of those jokey conversations, like, what are your deal breakers? And I was like, being married or like, being mean or being married, like big ticket things. But then I dated a person once that didn't floss, and I did not enjoy it. So part of me was like, a little thing like flossing occasionally. And then she was like, oh, I don't floss.
Oh, she was like defiant about it?
Can you imagine?
I at least feel guilty about it.
I would have at least lied.
I would have lied. I
100%. And then I would like floss 2 days in a row before the first date.
Yeah, I would lie about it.
She like has a stance.
Does not floss. And then we get to the date. I can smell her breath from across the table.
Oh, no. And I wonder if you would have been able to smell it or if you were just like looking for it.
Why is that a flex? I would have lied my ass off.
Me too.
I always feel very guilty. Although now I am a regular flosser. So I wonder if things are better in the department. I don't know.
I am too. I used to not floss, and then I had to spend like $2,000 at the dentist one time, and I've flossed almost every day of my life since.
Same girl.
Same. So I said it kind of jokingly because the person before that I dated was like, of course, is that like your bar? I was like, kind of. And she goes, that's really easy. I'm like, whew. And then one person was like, no. So anyway.
I will not floss for you.
Haley, you should make this roast beef with brown mustard and horseradish.
Ooh, I do love horseradish. I love a horsey sauce from Arby's.
There's a recipe called Townspeople Burnt Ends from the King's Landing barbecue.
They had that one on the Book Smugglers blog page.
The King's Landing barbecue.
Rip.
There's Dara's Mujadara lentil stew from the Devabad trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty, and I haven't read that, but I love those lentils. They have them at Aviva and Peachtree Center, which is very popular with the Dragon Con goers, if any Dragon Con goers are listening.
Mahajadara, lentils and rice and onions. It's so simple, but it's so good.
So good.
Love it.
They have a whole how to host a fantasy feast section in here in case anybody needs instructions. Invites, theme your decor, set the mood, stunning centerpieces, etc., etc.
There's some recipes in here from Jacqueline Carey's Kushiel's Legacy series, which I've got Kushiel's Dart sitting in my TBR pile. Meaning to read that. I heard about that on Desi Geek Girls.
Oh.
It sounds really good. That's a cute podcast. I like them.
Amy, you read the Game of Thrones. How do you pronounce this word?
Oh.
I read it too.
I said Ashai when I was
me
reading
too.
it, but I don't know if that's right.
Ass high.
Ass high. Ass high.
Cocktails. I like this. The Kettle One Ring.
Night market grilled sausage. I love chimichurri.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so simple. Manny's Manhattan, inspired by the city we became, which is a nominee this year for Best Novel. Here's one called Treebeard's Revenge. That's fun. That's a cocktail. Oh. Simple syrup, lime juice, Tanqueray, Rangpur, or your favorite gin. I do like gin.
I like gin too.
After downing a few of these gimlets, you'll be raring to take on Saruman himself. Ooh, Smog's Gold Toddy. I like a hot toddy. Clover, honey, brandy, boiling water, and grated nutmeg. That sounds good.
Lori also likes wine from the microwave.
I do. I like my booze warm.
There's a roasted cantaloupe recipe in here from
Ew.
Broken Earth.
Yeah, I
that
saw
sounds
that.
good.
Oh, cantaloupe. Bah.
But have you ever had it roasted?
No, I just don't like any melons. I'll try it, though.
No melon.
That's the boob talk for today.
I tried. There's a TikTok trend going around where you put just regular mustard on a slice of watermelon. And it's not bad, but it just tastes like watermelon and mustard.
Y'all, sashimi a la Smeagol.
Oh,
Seared tuna steaks. I want to make that.
I love
sounds
that.
Delicious. I'm going to make that.
Why? What's the connection to
he
Smeagol?
eats raw
He eats
fish.
fish.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And sashimi is raw.
Oh, I get it.
He just catches them and eats them. I like that.
This basically sounds like pokey, and I am here for it.
Pokey.
Sounds
Cold
delicious.
chicken with crusty bread and cheese.
That sounds
That
delicious.
one's for you, Haley.
That sounds delicious.
That's inspired by Kate Elliott's Spirit Walker trilogy.
Cold chicken with crusty bread and cheese sounds wonderful.
You get like you an old... You get you like an old Kroger rotisserie chicken, some bread, some cheese, some onions.
That's my favorite lunch right there.
That's a meal.
I might go get that on the way home, have that for lunch.
That sounds
this week.
delicious.
It sounds like a chicken
I
sandwich.
hope we're making everybody very hungry who's listening to this.
Pork steam buns. This is meat heavy. Just for the
is
the
meat-
non-meat
it is
eaters
meat
should
heavy.
know that this
Fantasy
is
is-
meat heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there are plenty of things you could substitute, and there's a lot of seafood if you're a pescatarian, such as myself.
Yeah. I guess a lot of fantasy is, the world is rather rustic and...
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my diet is a luxury. Crystallized ginger rock candy. That sounds good.
Apparently a keto diet is very fantasy.
Oh, keto, Keto.
Keto, yeah.
I heard like a keto, like the dog Akita. I don't know. I don't know what I thought.
Well,
I
protein.
I've made those for. I'm looking at a page in Lori's book. I don't know why I closed mine and started looking at hers, but baked pears with gorgonzola and candied walnuts. I used to host Game of Thrones watching parties, and I would make medieval food, and the baked pears thing. was
That's
something
a
I liked.
medieval food?
Baked pears.
We should go to medieval times.
All right, desserts. Oh, Mordor lava cake. Yes.
Oh, this is cute. So there's little notes on each recipe, and the one for the Lord of the Rings trilogy is about Eowyn, who is Aerysmith's daughter.
No, that's
No.
Arwen.
Eowyn is the one who is no man.
Why are they so close? Okay. Anyway, the note is guaranteed to slay your dinner guests and the patriarchy. So that gets the Hugo Girl seal. of
What's
approval.
that one?
That was on page.
Oh, is it No Living Man
No
Am
Living
I?
Man Am I kebabs.
I love it. Coconut pie. That sounds good. Inspired by Tomi Adeyemi's Legacy of Orisha series.
This makes me want to go to like a dark tavern and just get the thickest roast on the menu, thickest stew.
Do we have a dark tavern in Atlanta?
Porter.
You could go to Highland Tap.
Well, yeah, no, they just have like steaks and stuff.
Well,
Butter Week cakes. When is Butter Week? I want to go. Shadow and Bone trilogy.
Oh, this is interesting. So there's one inspired by Nnedi Okorafor's Who Fears Death, and whenever I go to the Beaufort Highway Farmers Market, which has food from all over the world, my favorite place, there's fufu, and I never know what it is. And there's a recipe for it.
you should make that.
It'd be fun, actually.
I think that this Butter Week cake is a butter tart. Canadians in the audience will know what that is.
Apparently, a good cake will chase the darkness away, per this book, and I believe that is true.
I don't think this is a cake. I think it's a butter tart.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because it has pastry. It's got pastry and custard. I think it's a butter tart,
That sounds like a tart to me too.
but I'll allow it because it sounds cute.
I've been meaning to make a congee, which is just like loose rice.
A mousse for dragons. Oh, cayenne pepper and a mousse. That sounds good. Like a spicy, like a Mexican chocolate kind of thing.
I might make that. That sounds good.
Mixed berry bubbly tarts. That's from Dragon Riders of Pern, so we'll pass. And feasts for your meal pairings.
That's where I saw the salty stand.
Renly's Tournament Feast
Oh, Renly.
comes with Brienne, sweet corn, and turnips with sage.
Hey, I can make that.
You could turnips, corn. It's your favorite things.
My corn is currently silking, so.
Ooh.
I killed some sage recently.
Oh,
That's my sage story.
That's hard to do.
Listen, I have a black thumb. If that's a thing.
Don't be a salty Stannis crispy sardines. That's for Kevin. Kevin likes sardines.
I'll be a salty Stannis, Kevin.
It's not my favorite thing when Kevin cooks sardines in the house where we live together. Marjorie's cream puff swans. Pipe each swan with an even amount of cream.
Nope.
Place a wing on each side and finish by adding a swan head.
Nope.
Yeah, that sounds like above me. Loris. I was like, who's Laura? Loris's Barani barley and venison stew. There's a Kashiel's legacy feast. Mussels and broth.
Ooh.
King's Landing barbecue, charred and smoked meats. The Hound tomahawk bone-in ribeye steak.
Just meat.
Cersei and Jaime Lannister smoked and grilled ribs. Townspeople burnt ends. No.
townspeople.
The cause of it all, Khaleesi, red heart chicken skewers.
Aw.
Oh, they went hard with that one.
They're like, more murder.
I like it. Add a little mystery. What does this say? Go the extra mile for your guests by hosting a fantasy-themed murder mystery night. Your efforts will be the stuff of ballads for pulling off this level of curated entertainment. You can find pre-plotted murder mysteries online and reskin some of the particulars with details from your themed fantasy series. Was it a contract poisoning in Terre d'Ange? I don't know what that is, but it looks French, so I'm sure I said it wrong. A sabotage performance at the Aeolian, ending in murder? The choice is yours. Just be sure to come up with appropriate backstories and setting adjustments before you send out the invites. So what we're not looking at here is 30-minute meals.
No.
These are elaborate, but I think that's fitting, you know? If you have a favorite book and you want to do like a big to-do, this is your book.
So we'll have to come together and make some of these things, have a little
I'll do the food photography.
Little tasting party.
Yeah.
And we'll record it so you can hear us going.
You could do
It'll be ASMR, damn it.
Chow Club Middle Earth.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us flip through a book.
And thanks for the book.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the book. That's so nice. The rep who emailed us, her name is Elise, and she was very nice, and she reached out and was like, hey, here's the deal about this book. And I was like, I didn't understand what anyone wanted from us. I was like, who? Us? You sent this email all this way just to talk to us?
Us facing back.
We're influencers now, people.
Yeah. I felt like slightly unethical. I wanted to be like, we get like 150 downloads per episode. Like,
Well, listen, if they sell books to those 150 people,
That's true.
then
We work with influencers at my job, and people that have too many followers, a lot of them are bots. They don't really care. But if you've got like a smaller group that is loyal,
You know they're
more.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's true.
there you go.
and then they'll give it to their friends.
quality, not quantity with us.
I approve this marketing gambit.
Okay, well, that's it. We'll be back when we have our food. Bye.
Bye.